afternoon, everyone. This is Jared RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, May 30, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a reverse aging health call and all the rest tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. Without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible. Frank Zappa. Great quote. Very true. In other words, we keep doing the same thing over and over again as a civilization. We are not going to progress. It may seem like it, different things, a few little technologies thrown in on occasion. But if we do the same thing over and over, we will not progress. And as we know, our greatest teacher is life. It has this mysterious, seductive way of showing us how deeply powerful, creative, and incredibly penetrating we are. And this world wants to be penetrated by us, by our energy, our creativity, our love, and our consciousness. That is why it is here. This world, this world is here to experience you, so that in return, you get to experience it. This is the cosmic setup, and how we can learn, grow, and evolve as infinite souls traveling through life on our mysterious journey home. And people will ask, what's the journey home? What is home? It's the discovery that you are the God. That's home. Okay? So in other words, you're always home. You can be out in the middle of nowhere and you're home because you are the God within that body. We are not passive observers watching our lives flutter by. We are also not just actors on a life stage, playing out these random personalities in the garden variety of roles handed down to us. We are that indescribable expansion and contraction of consciousness that is weaving itself in between. We are the blend of the observer, the observed, and the actor on the grand stage. We are the energy that's creating our actions, and this detached observer who is watching it all magically unfold. We are this interwoven space, this timeless spiritual essence that is beyond all rational comprehension. It can be tricky at first to comprehend that this divine interwoven mystery is what and who we really are. We all know we've been programmed and imprinted to believe we are either this body or this soul, that either spiritual or material beings. Yet, if we look with a penetrating, piercing mind into the core infrastructure of our human reality, we will see that we are both. This universe is just too big not to contain both. And whenever we begin to identify ourselves with anything other than all three sides of the coin, we needlessly suffer. Now, whatsoever is given to you is precious. If it was not so, existence would not have given it to you. Osho. Suffering is not always bad. It is the most wonderful indicator that we are not being receptive, open, and available to this universe. Thank God there's something to notify us when we are off target. Our suffering, however, is not to be taken too personally. Suffering means The ego, your individuated mind, has got you convinced that it's in charge. It is a master at pretending that your life is something smaller than the divine cosmic immensity that it truly is. The mind has got you hypnotized into believing its minuscule separate version of reality is true. It's like a colony of ants trying to convince every human being that their world is the only system that exists on the planet, and the most important one everyone should be focusing upon. All suffering stems from forgetting our connection with the God source, which originates from a deeper complaint we have within ourselves that says life should be different than the way it is. The complaining ego doesn't trust that the all-intelligent, divinely creative God source knows exactly what it is doing. Our ego maintains its kingly or queenly suffering state because it stopped being curious about this awesome divine matrix of life. It has forgotten about our spiritual freedom, power of pure consciousness, and our ability to choose what really matters. Everybody, well, let's just say most everybody, is carrying around hundreds of masks. Just watch. Talk to your lover, your boss, or with someone who is not going to fulfill any of your desires. Just watch your face, and if you need their help the next day, just watch your face. Is there a moment in your life where you drop all your masks with everyone? Most of them. And, with this internet and with AI flooding it now, and different software programs, you can create just about anything. There is no reality. God exists within everything, including our awareness, right here, right now. At the deepest level of reality, this universe has given us an opportunity to discover this connection with the divine, which creates total freedom, love, empowerment, and enlightenment in our lives. We are given an opportunity while we are in a human body to create whatever we wish to, including transcending every level of suffering, life mastery, and mastery over our minds. Inner mastery is available to anybody who truly believes it's possible to be free from any type of suffering forever. Some people, however, feel they need to suffer more before they are ready for liberation, while others believe they have had enough and are not willing to tolerate living in some version of inner conflict another day. Excuse me. I believe that that's happening on this planet. That many are not willing to tolerate living in some version of inner conflict another day. The most interesting thing is that the people who are truly, honestly finished with their own personal suffering toleration project suddenly create an inner shift in their consciousness that has the most fascinating dimension to it. They begin having a fully open, consistently receptive, welcoming quality to life, which behaves much like a cosmic womb, continuously ready and willing to give birth to a deeper connection with the God source inside. If we look deeper and begin to explore what exactly is this cosmic womb, we see that it is the foundation for all matter and antimatter. It is the awesome, supremely empty universal blackboard of which all consciousness and all its content fall upon. In a more spiritual context, you might say the cosmic womb is the home base where the creating all-loving God abides, the God source. The womb is the feminine aspect of God, and all matter and consciousness is the male aspect. Just as you and I came from a womb, everything in this universe was also born out of a womb as well. It is what existed before the Big Bang, if you want to believe the Big Bang, before the first thought, before there was any empty void in existence. When we begin personally exploring this 100% pure emptiness of existence, we can often first encounter negative states of emotional sensation, such as lack, apathy, loss, or even depression. This is part of the normal emptying out procedure that is simply a clearing of the ego's list of negative limiting beliefs it's been gripping onto. Through a persistent curiosity, devotion, meditation, prayer, or spiritual practice of investigating this purely empty, cosmically connected womb-like space inside of us, we soon discover something radically divine and absolutely precious abides at the core. At the core of our inner cosmic womb is absolute freedom, true inner peace, an indescribable self-love, a deeply penetrating awareness, and the connection to all the power and energy in this universe. Now, it might sound quite outrageous and unbelievable, yet when you experience it for yourself, you'll see that that's precisely what it is. The cosmic womb is your sacred entry point, your spiritual gateway to instantly commune with the divine. When we are inside this absolutely pure empty space, the most direct loving inner guidance immediately shows up, providing the most vital information and insights we were most needing to have. Discovering how to live in a constant reverent communion with this sacred womb within is the most solid spiritual foundation that we can relax our entire lives into. There's nothing more reliable, since the cosmic womb is always there, always ready to be received, and always creating the deepest possible transformation within us. When we surrender deeply to life, we discover our own personal relationship and intimate connection with this deepest experience of reality. And to prove that it is real, we are given the gift of effortlessly finding total mastery over our minds, peace with every emotion we have, a profound unity with our own consciousness, and thus total mastery of our lives. Now, the eastern part of this planet is known about this purely empty state of thousands of years. They call it, shunyata. It means pure emptiness, yet in a positive sense, not like the negative interpretations as cast upon being empty in the West. Since the Western mind is more focused on materialism, productivity, and achieving things in the outer world, emptiness would seem like a negative experience for the traditionally conditioned Western mind, because the Eastern mind sees all matter as illusory, transitory, here today and gone tomorrow. Then that which is void of matter, purely empty of thought, is understood to be our closest connection to our divine spiritual nature and ultimate foundation. You enter this womb every time you meditate. Every time we meditate, You find a comfortable place for yourself with no outside distraction. You relax into your body. You're still as a statue, and you're focused on your breath, your natural breath rising and falling. That quiet space is where the God Source resides. Discovering a 100% reliable spiritual foundation is the most colossal gift we could ever give ourselves. The finding that which never changes is always permanent, always reliable, eternal, indestructible, and absolutely free simply sets the mind at ease. It allows our soul to rest in our body, to experience the feeling that we can be at home here now, no matter what seems to be happening in the outer world. Cosmic womb is the great doorway to our highest freedom and the full realization of our unbounded spiritual nature. It is our essential entry point for how we can instantly reclaim our real spirituality, which in turn initiates a complete mind-body healing and permanent access to the state of unlimited potentiality. Just a few seconds in the womb, we immediately experience heaven is within. We encounter a timelessness, an infinite spaciousness inside that opens a purely awakened mind, unstoppable energy and infinite love within ourselves. We discover we are already spiritual beings at the core of every moment. We experience our spiritual indestructible essence is always here, always now, and always available. Right now, you have the small light of the ego to help you to see, to grow, to find your way. And you are afraid to extinguish it. Then you will fall into utter darkness for a time, while the dark night of the soul. In a dark night, even a glowworm is quiet. And it is quite a hope that light exists also. Cosmic womb inside of us, all of us, right now, is easy to discover. In fact, it takes zero effort and energy to realize it's here. The more the mind efforts to find it, the more elusive the womb becomes. The cosmic womb can only be found through a deep relaxation into your consciousness. It is not something experienced when we are unconscious, half-conscious, or operating in automatic habits of the mind. The womb is only found when the mind is not there. When we are free from all the demands and desires of the ego, only then can we fully relax, remove all of our masks, and happily reveal the amazing, enlightened beings we truly are. The cosmic womb is found through a constant experience of receptivity and surrender. When we can become supremely unguarded, free from any need or agenda, only then are we fully receptive, and the God Source instantly enters us. We must choose to surrender completely to the totality of our existence, to all our problems and their solutions, letting everything release. In this great letting go, all the answers to life's greatest questions seem to be painted in perfect pictures on the womb's vast, infinite, holy blackboard. This grand emptiness is so profound that the infinitely creative Source has no other choice than to draw out all the answers for you. The power in the womb is so intoxicating and liberating that all your pains and personal issues are orgasmically taken over by the divine. The womb awakens us instantly, points us back to the most radical essence of what and who we truly are, gives us exactly what we are most needing to experience. To initiate the process of discovering your inner cosmic womb this week, start with being more allowing, welcoming, receptive, and expansive in your thinking than normal. Good exercise is in welcoming each experience of this life and its opposite, meaning welcoming in the pain and the pleasure, the joy and the sadness, the frustration and the ecstasy, etc. Cosmic womb is already allowing all the good, bad experiences in this world to play out on its universal blackboard without discrimination or judgment. It is simply allowing for everything, including the mind and its various states of consciousness, to unfold as they will. Be like this cosmic blackboard, allowing for all. The very instant we welcome our totality, the dark and the light, we become 100% present in this present moment, and the most amazing discoveries are found. Each moment becomes another epiphany and a holy experience to be revealed. We find every day is a great gateway to absolute creativity, expanded love, and a higher state of consciousness. Through welcoming all good, bad experiences, we can allow this unlimited God source of energy to freely enter our lives. It's good to know that everyone is going to be reflecting back to you where you are. The world will be mirroring those good and bad parts of yourself that you might not be aware of. You're feeling stuck in a relationship, trapped in a job, powerless in a financial situation, or simply inadequate in your life. You are not feeling into the full contraction and expansion of your consciousness. Let go of this clinging or resisting either side. And let this grand pendulum swing. If you are welcoming everything on the outside and the inside, you cannot and will not miss the cosmic womb. This universe already always loves you. It's perpetually sending you wake-up calls to pour its greatness, its sweet healing love and wild ecstasy on and into you. You ask yourself, are you ready for this? Can you handle a cosmic state of ecstasy? If so, then become ridiculously receptive to every experience in life again. Become like the most beautiful feminine flower, tasting the fresh morning rays of sunlight, dancing on your skin. God must enter you here. It has no other choice. It must surrender to you if you allow for it to enter you. Simply open yourself up to all of existence. This is the most way to realize and experience your divinity. The ego functions like a blindfold on your eyes. The sun rises and you remain in darkness. The music goes on, but you don't hear a thing. You live in the ocean of love, but nothing is felt. With the ego, you remain like a dying tree, uprooted. Then life looks like this long, drawn-out tragedy. The whole thing seems to be so ridiculously meaningless, and consciousness seems to be something irrelevant and accidental. Okay. One last bit of advice on your journey into the womb. It is a glorious and ferocious ride, and nothing short of that. The mind will have a tendency to try to remain in control, to dictate reality and micromanage your destiny. This is a very old habit, which it's not going to let go easily. It's going to do whatever it can to make you believe it is better not to surrender to existence. It feels a desperate need for protection, safety, and security. It tends to live life from a place of fear rather than freedom, love, or ecstasy. Just know that any time you are not feeling free, your mind has taken over, has forgotten the cosmic womb is here to liberate you, and is desperately trying to escape from some illusionary prison it's caught in. The great spiritual setup here is that our souls have committed for millions of mind games that believe we are imprisoned so that we can break free and believe we are free. We want to experience it all, and will settle for nothing less. Any attempt to be in total control of the game is absolutely futile and throws our body into a state of contraction. Just understand, comprehend that your mind is stuck in the habit of constantly attempting to find freedom from an illusionary prison that it created, and all the answers and real goodies you're seeking are inside this jail cell. There is no need to escape from it, and when you realize this, the bars and walls suddenly dissolve. Any seeking for freedom, love, or enlightenment in another being, spiritual text, or concept is inherently coming from the feeling of missing out on this divine spiritual womb-like connection within ourselves. There's no greater guru than trusting your life and the wisdom in your heart. Realize this deeply and completely. This mind of yours is the only thing blocking you from experiencing this divine God-source connection. No matter how scared the mind is, it is still in your way. The mind has you fooled, has us all fooled. It's trying to achieve some personal private goal out there, rushing around as if your soul didn't have an eternity of time ahead of you. Be careful of the mind. It acts much like a locomotive, coal-burning train that's been hurtling down the same old tracks for 25 years. It's never stopped. It doesn't know how to stop, or at least consciously. Of course, the mind may pause for the occasional red light along the way, yet for it to come to a full, complete halt, turn off its engines, whistles, and backup motors is unheard of. If we ever want to discover the divine womb and the greatest mystery of life within ourselves, we must choose to abandon this suicidal train for good. We must choose to leap far from these old tracks and hurl ourselves into the unknown. It is here that we will find the soft green grass catches our fall, where we can lay the mind down gently to rest as we bask in the golden sunset beyond the fields, making mad, passionate love with God behind the world's closed eyes. Everything is connected to us discovering. There's no running from it. There's no ignoring it. There's no suppressing it. Is to discover what we really are. We're in this big game. It's a playground. And you can see it as far as the eye can see and beyond. And we play this game with ourselves and with each other. And we're on this quest in material physical life to seek out the truth. And the interesting thing, the irony to it, is that we don't find it. And all along, everything is within us. Everything. It's all there. Now you can imagine, we all start out in the baby body, and we are as nubile as you can be. Empty vessels, so to speak. So we're filled up with all these other people's thoughts, right? Constantly. All the time. And then one day we find ourselves, as we call it, adults. Our own personality and character, based upon other people's thoughts. And we're either swimming through life or floating through life. Why is it that all of us aren't floating through life? Well, it's because the mind has its hooks in us. It guides and controls and directs. This is why everybody's in a hurry. It's true. I mean, if you were to just notice, okay, brushing your teeth, getting ready for something, doing something, and you just kind of stepped outside of yourself, and you started to say, "Wow, I didn't realize that it seems like everything I'm doing, I'm in a hurry to do." As you get to a point where you've practiced not hurrying so much, that when you do step into that, you say, "Okay, slow it down. You don't need to do this. You don't need to rush. It's not a race. It's a discovery for every one of us, but it isn't a race." You know, the cosmic womb is already there. And then one might pose the question, why is it this way? Why is it that we come to this planet and we have no memory for the most part? Why is it that every lifetime that we enter, okay, we don't remember anything else but that life, the life that we're in? Is it starting over and over again? It feels like it, doesn't it? But each time we're learning different things, and each time it is being recorded. And one asks, when are we going to be able to access it all? Whenever we choose. When are we going to be able to do that? How long are we going to do this reincarnation gig? You know, what? Millions of years? How long are we going to do it? Each time not remembering the one before. When you go and you discover or rediscover the God that you are in the body, you are in the now and not yesterday and tomorrow, which means you've mastered the ego mind. You have mastered your thoughts. So you, through the ego mind, using the ego mind, you can direct your thoughts from the heart mind, using the ego mind to direct your thoughts and focus to manifest. And this is what all of us on this planet will eventually discover. Sooner than later. We have an immense amount of photon light energy. What are we gods? Photon light energy. And we are literally being saturated in it 24/7. Planet is, we are, everything is. Well, how long does that last? A couple weeks, couple years, couple centuries? No, it's a few thousand years. So you can see that it gives us an opportunity to go within, but much deeper. Because you're going to discover that you're the God. You will discover that. That's why you're listening, and that's why you participate in these meditations. You will discover the God that you are within that body. Not only that, you'll discover everything else. You'll discover that you're omnipotently powerful. You'll discover that you never die. And this will all be done through heart-mindedness and not ego-minded. And you will comprehend, you realize that just how omnipotently powerful you truly are. And you will have mastered your thoughts so you can direct your thought on whatever it is you wish to create for yourself. Manifest. And you've heard me say this many times, we are in a massive spiritual evolution. It isn't anything else. In all the sciences on this planet who have been taught wrongfully are realizing that they don't have any answers in the scientific community anymore, so they have stepped into spiritual. Period. Now, we can sit in a bubble and let our ego mind basically run the show until we leave the body. Which many, throughout the ages have done. Or we can say, I'm not interested in, I'm not attracted anymore to conflict, to any of it, any of the stuff. Conflict, undermining, dishonesty, manipulation, subversion. I'm interested in peace. And I know that the true peace is within me. So therefore, I go within through meditation to find peace. This is why we go into silence. We're as still as a statue. This is peace. There's no distractions. Ego mind it's not there. The rush of 60,000 plus thoughts playing over and over again are not there. It's yesterday and tomorrow are not there. Pain and suffering is not there. You're in total silence. The God. And this way, how do you think we master mind, ego, thoughts? We master it. It's all illusion. Who created it? We did. Why did we create it? So we can experience it. We're not temporary, the gods that we are. Everything else is temporary. We're real, the gods that we are. We're divine perfection. Everything else is not real. Anything that changes is not real. It's illusion.
Why is it that way? We created it that way so we can experience it, so that we wouldn't become a bunch of bumps on a log just existing. We're interactive beings. We're very curious beings. We're creators on the highest scale, whatever, however you want to say it. We're manifestors, masters at it. So doesn't it make sense that we're constantly creating things that we can experience? We wouldn't have it any other way. That's why we master our thoughts, so we can direct our thoughts. Would we still bring in things that would surprise us, that we would experience? Absolutely. It's what we do. It would be ideal that everyone on the planet was on the same page from the perspective of knowing that we're going into a massive spiritual evolution, which will do what? It will save the civilization from complete extinction. Now, when you love everything, everyone, everything, and nothing, genuinely, do you believe that there is any kind of subterfuge or static energy or irritating stuff or anything? No, it doesn't exist. That's why this planet is being transformed into a God planet paradise. Those that know to go within and discover who and what they are, to not be afraid to go deeper and deeper and deeper till they finally open the door to the God, the pure consciousness within their souls that exists, and to embrace that God, that pure consciousness. You've never felt freedom until you do that. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close this out.
Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Relaxed into the body, still as a statue, focused on your breath rising and falling. The mind cannot keep up with consciousness. It is too fast for the mind. Mind is always getting caught in the past and future. When you are totally in the moment, there is no mind. You're sitting and being silent, being open to everything and resisting nothing. Realize that it is coming from either a fear of loss or a fear of separation from the source. The meditative mind happens once the feeling of whatever you want to change is fully experienced and dissolved. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. We'll return here Saturday, May 31st, 2025. A little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart. Allow the magic to flow in.